You guys can still hear me good? All right, so we're going to be talking about Gideon today. I hope you guys was able to read and even meditate on Judges chapter 6 and verse 12. What does it say? I hope you brought your Bibles and make sure you get your notebooks. I know y'all not in school right now. Go take your school notebook or whatever. Judges 6 and 12. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said to him, the Lord is with you, mighty man of valor. Valor, what is valor? It's courage. It's mighty in battle. It's courage in the face of danger. So, let's go to Judges chapter 1. We're going to get back to Judges 6, so keep your hand there. But Judges chapter 1 talks about how this was after Moses. This was after Joshua. The people didn't see God come through and parted the Red Sea. And so after that, he parted the Red Sea. Moses died. Joshua took them into the land, and God told them to possess the land. And so after God told them to possess the land, he also told them to drive out the people who's not like him, because God didn't want them serving other gods. But they didn't listen. So now let's go to Judges chapter 6. The people got in a repetitive motion. What did they do? They kept sinning, and then they forgot about God. They got oppressed. God delivered them into the enemy's hands. Then they repented and they cried out to God, Lord, deliver me. And then God gave them peace. This is what he did. People of God did time and time again. Sin, forget about God. They was doing what was right in their own eyes. Sometimes we might do that. Do what we feel is right. Like, oh, shoot, I don't want to serve God like this. Or I don't want to give up that boyfriend. I don't want to give up those friends. I don't want to give up drinking and smoking. But sinning, doing whatever was right, they got delivered into the hand. How many of you were delivered into the hands of the enemy sometime? Who was delivered into the principal's hands at a time or two? Getting sent to the office because you was doing what you wanted to do, acting a fool. No, but I got in trouble. I was getting kicked out of class and everything, and that was not of God. I was not representing him to the best of my ability. But then some people was delivered to the judge, to the jail cell, to the police, to prison, to their parents, caught them red-handed because people was doing what they wanted to do. So when we go back to Judges chapter 6, chapter 6 and verse 1. Then the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Midian for 7 years. And the hand of the Midian prevailed against them. Let's read on. And this is when the people would start living in dens and caves and in the mountains, because they couldn't just live on the land that God told them to possess. Because you let those foreign people stay in your land, because you kept hanging around those same friends who pulled you away from God. Nah, God, I'm going to pull them towards you. Let's let them stay. They so nice. They so cute. They so sweet. I love them. I have people that I love, but I refuse to spend a lot of time with them because they're not in Christ. They're not in Christ. And I don't want to go along with their sins or what they're saying. I don't want to judge them. That's why sometimes I don't follow people on the internet. I don't want to see what you're doing, because when God tells me to say something, I don't want to be afraid to say what God is telling me to say. So doing what's right in your own eyes. They didn't let the people go. Now they fell into worshiping false gods and Baal, and got into children sacrificing. Okay, so verse 3. So it was, whenever Israel had sown, the Midianites would come up. Also the Amalekites and the people of the east would come up against them. And then they will enter the camp and destroy all of their food, all of their crops. take all of their animals and leave them with nothing. Don't you get tired of bullies? Yeah, bullies, people talking about you, being mean to you, evil neighbors. You get tired of people hating on you. And sometimes the people hating on you would join up with each other just because they don't like you. They may not even like you, but they came together because of that. So would take everything that they had, and then they would destroy it and left them with nothing. And it was so many of them that it was like, the Bible talks about, it was like locusts. They were unnumbered, like the sand of the sea. And you know you can't number sand. So guess what the children of Israel did? In verse 6, Judges 6 and 6. So Israel was greatly impoverished because of them, the Midianites. And the children of Israel cried out to the Lord. And it came to pass, the children of Israel cried out because of the Midianites, that the Lord sent a prophet to the children of Israel. This is why it's important to stay in church, to go to church, to be a part of a ministry, because the Lord will send people to talk to you. The pastors watch over your souls. You have to be in a place where you can hear from God. And guess what the prophet told them? I brought you up, the Lord said, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of bondage, and I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all who oppressed you, and drove them out before you and gave you their land. Also I said unto them, I am the Lord your God. Do not fear the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell, but you have not obeyed my voice. They wasn't listening. So now this is a point. And Judges chapter 2 talks about after Moses, after Joshua, after they passed and their elders passed, now the people, another generation arose who did not know God, who did not see his works. And some of the young people, sometimes we may see like, what is my parents talking about? Why are they shouting like that in church? I didn't see God do anything. So a generation arose and they started doing whatever was right in their own eyes. So back to verse Judges 6 and 11. The angel of the Lord came. Verse 12. While the angel of the Lord came and sat under the terebinth tree, which was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash, the Abiezrite, while his son Gideon threshed wheat in the winepress, in order to hide it from the Midianites. So they tried to get creative down in the pit, hiding the food and stuff, so they can't come and take everything. The bullies can't come taking everything they had again. So Gideon, he threshed the wheat in the winepress in order to hide it. And Judges 6 and 12. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, y'all should know this by heart right now. The Lord is with you, mighty man of valor, mighty man of courage, mighty warrior. So Gideon said to him, oh my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all his miracles, which our fathers told us about, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. No, Gideon, you have it all wrong. Your people was doing evil in the sight of God. That's why you are in the hands of the Midianites. And then, even when he said, the Lord is with you, mighty man of the Lord, Gideon was looking like, who, me? I'm in the pit hiding food. I'm scared. So, verse 14. Then the Lord turned to him and said, you know, since some people always complaining about something, where is your God? Why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? So guess what the Lord told him? Go in this might of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you? Gideon was stuck. And it's crazy when you stuck somewhere where you're not supposed to be. He know he didn't like his job. It's probably a family business. Okay, you take turns being the farmer down there producing food. You take turns. It's your turn. So he was stuck in a place where he didn't want to be, and then now God is calling him out. Why? God sees some things in you that you do not see in yourself. Have I not sent you? Verse 15. So he said to him, "Oh my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house." So what did he give? An excuse. What did Apostle Charles O. Miles used to always say? Your excuse is not good enough. He wanted to complain about something. Where's your God? God told him, hey, well, guess what? I put it on your heart to do it. The things that y'all been praying about, I'm putting it on your heart to go and help deliver my people. So he like, but I'm the weakest. Now he started giving excuses. And the Lord said, surely I will be with you, and you shall defeat the Midianites as one man. Then he said to him, whoa, now this is the point where he's starting to test God. Like, we already hiding. You want us to come against these people who's like innumerable, the sand of the sea, and it's only us bunch. Okay, can you show me a sign, Lord? Please show me a sign if this is you. So he went to go and prepare some meat. He prepared some bread and some broth, and the angel said, okay, put it on this rock. And then he touched it with the staff, and it was consumed. So he's like, oh my gosh, surely this is the Lord. Okay, he is with me. All right, okay, let me get this word down in me. Okay, let's turn the page. And then he's like, Lord, okay, if you are who you say you are, I might need a few more signs. So let's drop down to verse 25. So God told him, God started giving Gideon little tasks. So the first task he basically gave him was to go tear down the altars that your father built for this false god Baal. So Gideon, and it says that Gideon went around verse 26, around verse 25 and 26. He went to go tear it down, and he went to go knock down the wooden statue and stuff. But he was so scared that he went with 10 people. He went with 10 of his friends. And then he was scared to the point where they did it at night. Like, I'm not going to do this in the daytime. I'm just going to do it at night. Lord, help me. And so, but you want to surround yourself with people who will help you do the will of God. If God give you a crazy task, surround yourself with friends who's going to help push you into your purpose. Who, oh man, I don't see, we're going to get in some trouble, but I'm with you. If the Lord said it, I'm with you. Okay, so Gideon was scared and afraid, but he still completed the task that God gave him. And then, what did Gideon have? He didn't really have too much. He still asked God to show him a few more signs. Like, Lord, okay, all right, this fleece right here. This fleece. Okay, if you're really going to deliver these people, deliver us out their hands, I need you to make the entire ground dry and let this fleece be wet. So the next morning, the fleece was so wet that they was able to squeeze a bowl full of water. And then he like, okay, God, don't be mad at me. Okay, let me just say, if you're really going to deliver them by my hands, like you want me to do this, okay, could you please make the fleece dry and the entire ground wet? And behold, the Lord did it. He was so scared. He was so scared and fearful. And sometimes we are like that when we have to go and do something we don't want to do. Like, Lord, you want me to go and witness to these people? They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to tell me to shut up. They might spit and walk away. You have to do what God has called you to do. And so he tested God, but God showed him some signs. Okay, now look, let's go. This Bible is so good now. All right, so he decided in verse 34, it said that the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon. You can't do anything by yourself. Do it with God. Gideon had to spend time with God. He had to talk to God to see what he wanted him to do. He had to build a relationship with God. The Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon. Then he blew his trumpet, and the Abiezrites gathered behind him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also gathered behind him. He sent messengers into Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, and they came up to meet him. So God told me to do something. Now I didn't call everybody I know. He got 32,000 people. 32,000 people. I don't know how we gonna do this, y'all. The weapons we have are only clay pots. Let's act like this is a clay pot. We got some fire. I don't know if y'all can see that. We got some fire. And guess what? We got trumpets. This ain't a trumpet, but that's all they had to work with. So, he was like, I got 32,000 people. Hey, y'all, get ready, gear up. Bruh, they got swords. But guess what? In verse 12, it says, the angel of the Lord is with you, bruh. The Lord is with you. Mighty man of the Lord. You right, bruh. I got that word. They got the sword, but I got the word. So, the sign of, okay, let's drop down to chapter 7. After God showed him the signs, chapter 7 talks about verse 2. And the Lord said to Gideon, the people who are with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. You got to let some people go. Lord, they got over 120,000 people on their side. I just got 32,000. It's too many. We can't even match up to them like that. Too many, let them go. Everybody who's scared, let them go. You can't be surrounded by no fearful people. Like, they got to be ready for battle. Okay, Lord, everybody who's scary and afraid, you can go. So the Bible talks about 22,000 people left them. Oh, man. And only 10,000 people remained. Okay? The people are still too many. God said, Lord, 22,000 people left. We only got 10,000. It's too many still? Yeah, it's too many. God did not want them to get the glory out of it. He didn't want them to go, yeah, it was us. It was by our might and our power. We defeated them. No. When God do something for you, he wants to get all the credit. So, then he said, everybody go to the water. And everybody who laps from the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you shall set apart by himself. And the number of those who lapped, putting their hand to their mouths, was 300 men. And he told the rest of the people to go. So Gideon is stuck with these 300 people with clay pots, with fire, and with a trumpet. So he like, all right, it's only 300 of us. And he like, oh my gosh. He was scared. Like, this is not enough people to go and face these giants. And let's just relate it to some of the people here on this call. We got Jazz here. Jazz was a manager. Wave your hand, Jazz, if you're on here. She was a manager at Forever 21. Jazz decided, oh my gosh, I'm more than a manager. I got my own store, but this is not it. This is not what God is calling me to do. God sent the prophet. She got a word. Okay, it's a word. I got to be doing something more. And guess what she up and decided to do? Quit her job. You didn't quit a whole job. You got a family, girl. She quit her job and she started doing what she felt that the Lord wanted her to do. She started her own business. Then she started helping the church. Then she like, I need to be over this girl's identity. God, we need to do some more for the young people. Then she started to help at the church, like being an assistant, helping her dad. Like, how awesome is that? Just getting this idea. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. We got Sean Bean here. Sean, wave your hand. Sean, she got a word. Then something stirred in her spirit. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do with the I think that we need to be feeding some people. Sean, this is what I'm assuming. she was like, let me get with, if we need to feed some people with IGC, let's get with some people. Let me talk to the pastor. Let me ask them, can you give a shampoo? Can you give some soap and detergent so we can give people tissue? Shine decided to get that together, got with 50K souls, and now she's helping, she didn't help fed in Detroit and the Ecorse more than 100 and something people. Then we got Bree here, who decided, you know what, I think I want to do hair at 13. Let me start just doing people hair for free to help them out. And then she went from there. God sent her souls to start witnessing the people. I need to witness the people in my chair, witnessing the people in her chair. And then now she got her own salon just from putting God first. Then we got Candace. Candace was like, you know what? God has given me some words. Let me put it together. I think I can write poems and rap and what? You know, Candace decided, I'm going to make some rap videos. I'm going to do this for the glory of God. And then she got with it, and now she's using her gifts to promote and make videos and rap and reach people and teach and, you know, just using what God placed inside of her. And then we have me. I had a dream one day, and God said, hey, the phone rang. And I went and I'm like, hello? And they was like, why won't you do what you're called to do? And I was like, who is this? Click. And then the phone rang again. I'm like, hello? And he said, why won't you do what you're called to do? I said, because I don't know enough. And I hung up. And I instantly woke up, like, I'm glad I hung up before that call, like, before he said anything else. And I was telling my sister, and she was like, are you serious? You hung up on the Lord. And I'm like, I'm like, Lord, I'm not doing what you called me to do. And I feel that I don't know enough. I feel that I don't speak this way. I feel that I don't start comparing. And then I got another word. God sends a prophet. And he said, until you do what you're called to do, I'm not going to change anything in your life. And then I started going through so much, and I'm like, this is not fair. But guess what? I had to do what the Lord called me to do. So, okay, let's get back to Gideon. So Gideon, he, with the men, went out and used what they had. He was scared, but God said, go down to the camp. If you're scared, take your friend and listen to their conversation and hear what they said. So when he got down there, they were talking about, I had a dream. And such and such and such happened. And then the friend interpreted the dream like, yeah, that's Gideon. He gonna win the battle and war against the people and such and such. Gideon heard that and he was like, yes, okay. It's only 300 of us, but I'm gonna come against these people with our 300. Hey, y'all. Hey, Judges 6 and 12. And the Lord was with us, mighty man of the Lord. So, him and the 300 went against the people, broke the clays, did their trumpets, had their fire, and the people had swords. The people, after they did that, the people got so confused, they started killing themselves, like killing each other. Confusion in the camp. Because when God is on your side, the impossible will happen. It doesn't matter how you have to do it to get to your next. You have to do it. And what do you use? Whatever's in your hand without giving excuses. Gideon did it afraid, but he still did it. And so the 300 was able to take out 120,000 of them. 120,000. And when God is on your side, you can accomplish anything. You can move mountains with God on your side. He didn't ever think that he could do it, but with God, he was able to. So what did we learn about Gideon? We learned that God uses whomever he chooses. We learned that it doesn't matter what you think about yourself. If you don't think that you're capable, if you feel unqualified for what you feel God has placed inside of you, it doesn't matter. You still have to do it anyway. Get outside of yourself, because with God, all things are possible. 1 Corinthians 1:27 through 30, you guys can read that later. But it's talking about how he, like, let me see. I don't want to misquote the word, but it's like he uses the weak to shame the strong. But that's a good scripture. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Okay. So when you boast about God, not of yourself. And then Gideon felt like, can somebody else do it? No. Nobody else can do what God has put inside of you or use the gifts that he's given you. You have to do it yourself. He will send a prophet. You have to be at church. He doesn't endorse sin. Gideon did not always do what he was supposed to do, but God didn't endorse it. Like sometimes we don't always do what we're supposed to do, but God still uses us if we will allow him to. And sometimes we may fall, but we have to get back up because people are watching. And you can't continue in sin because it turns people off from God. So get you some friends who are going to help you follow Christ. Do it scared, quietly, when nobody else believes in you. Still do it. And use whatever you have in your hand. You don't have to have perfect speech to speak. You don't have to be perfect at anything because you're leaning on God's strength. He's going to help you do it, accomplish it. And what else? And when you do it, you will have peace after. After Gideon did what he did, they was able to win and they had peace for 40 years. And Israel did fall again and start serving other gods, but hey, they had to go through that cycle again of the deception, the sin, being oppressed, repenting, and getting delivered from God. So let's not get in that cycle of the children of Israel. Let's keep God first and have courage in the face of danger, because you are the mighty woman of valor, the mighty man of valor, of courage with God. So that's all I have. Who are we going to next?
That was so good, Nakia. That was so good.
Thank you. Thank you.